This is News 4 San Antonio.
The University Interscholastic League releasing its plan for high school sports. Don Harris will be kicking off our team coverage with a breakdown of when we can expect football to kick off.
And coming up with plans for returning to school is tough enough, but tonight our troubleshooters investigate the concerns that educators now have when it comes to foster children.
And a family mourning the loss of their loved one because of COVID-19. The one request they have for you at home.
To begin with our top story tonight, there will be high school sports this fall, just a few weeks later than we're used to for some districts. At least that is the plan right now. From the UIL and News 4 San Antonio's Don Harris begins our team coverage on how the pandemic is now affecting schools with the details of this. Again, it's just a plan right now from the UIL. Don?
Well, Randy, as expected, the UIL has delayed the start of the high school football season for Class 5A and 6A around this entire state. But there were some surprises with their announcement today. For starters, the UIL is not making a uniform change. Football season will start on time in most rural areas across the state, and those seasons will begin as scheduled. But with all the delays for in-person schooling in the big cities hit hardest by COVID-19, it will be a minimum 5-week delay. The big surprise is that there's going to be a full season, meaning the playoffs will go into January for the larger classifications. Normal fall practices will start on time for Class 1A through 4A, while practices for the big schools will coincide with those in-person restrictions that go until September 7th. The Class 1 through 4A football season will kick off as usual in late August, but games cannot start for the 5A and 6A until September 24th, and that could slide till October 2nd, depending on strength and conditioning restrictions. The surprise again, they're going to play a full 10-game schedule, pushing the state championship past Christmas into January. Local athletic directors now have to make it all work.
We've kind of been setting up schedules, different ones to fit different scenarios. And what they came out with today, we've pretty much already got a plan for it. And actually, we've got 2 or 3. I mean, there's the best case scenario, there's the worst case. You know, Metro Health may push us back a little further. We're ready for that. If not, we're ready to begin when we can.
UIL put out more guidelines as well. Can fans attend? If so, how many? What about marching bands? What about mask wearing and other restrictions? We've got the answer to that straight ahead.
All right, Don, thank you so much. Students are back at school, virtually anyway, at Castle Hills Elementary. Some teachers were back in their classrooms as students at Northeast ISD's only year-round school got back to learning today. The school's principal says things are running very smoothly, and teachers, after going through extensive technology training the past few months, they are all ready to go. So what does a virtual day look like? They say almost like a normal school day on a schedule. Teachers have a morning meeting and then they go into mini lessons with their students so that their kids can work independently or in small group breakout rooms.
It's so exciting because we actually have the teachers engaging with students, and I can just feel the positive energy. The kids are so excited to see their teachers again or meet their teachers for the first time, and I'm just seeing a lot of engagement.
Students at Castle Hills Elementary are the first ones to start back up under the new distance learning guidelines. The principal says she is pleased with attendance for day one.
And the San Antonio Independent School District is releasing new details about its proposed plan for the new school year. They're going to break up the return to school, the guidelines by different levels of safety. Level 1, the maximum safety level, with all students learning remotely. The last level there, level 5, is when schools are fully open with all students learning in person. Now, they have different guidelines, operating procedures for each of those levels for things like different safety protocols, the operations, the transportation, what happens in class, and more. Right now, our team is digging deeper into this 49-page plan. We'll have more details like what classrooms could look like with the social distancing measures in place. That's coming up tonight at 6.
The Harlandale ISD School Board is approving remote classes to begin for students August 24th. The first 4 weeks will be completely online. They say remote learning this fall will look a little different than it did in the spring. It'll include different opportunities for teachers to engage with their students, like live lessons and independent work. The board says they will reevaluate to see if remote learning needs to be extended an additional 4 weeks or if they can begin to transition to in-person learning. Well, with the start of school just a few weeks away, we do know a lot of you at home are concerned, and maybe even some of you are frustrated with how plans seem to be changing by the day when it comes to your child's education. And that's exactly why we've assembled a team here at News 4, working around the clock for you to stay on top of all the information coming in from the Texas Education Agency and from your child's school districts. As soon as we know details, you will know too, right here on 4 and online at news4sa.com/education.